Alright, welcome back to Digi Bros. We're playing Splatoon 2. We got hella topics. We got more topics. Like last episode, that wasn't a topic. We were just ranting about cartoons. Skip it. Don't even watch it. Don't even watch the last episode unless you've seen The Venture Brothers and Gravity Falls. You don't need to see that shit. We were just going on and on and on about whatever. Now we got topics. We're gonna lay it on the line with dialogue, with real quality dialogue.
Please tell me now. Is there something I should know?
What? Is that a reference?
Yes! We just talked about the please tell me now ball! Damn it!
What?
The please tell me now, but that's a song!
Oh, I didn't remember what the song was.
It's Duran Duran!
How's it go? Sing it.
No!
No, sing it.
No!
Hope.
No!
Sing it.
No!
Sing it. Hope. Did you?
No.
The fans want to know what the song is. They
Stop.
look up.
It's Duran Duran! You guys, please tell me now by Duran Duran. You guys haven't heard this song? Seriously? It's a classic.
Portrait of Duran Graham.
Shut the fuck up.
Woo! Alright, guys.
That's a great joke.
I love you. Alright, this has got to be the last area. So we're on the last area. We're on the last topics. We have topics. So I'm gonna piggyback. I'm gonna rip off what Conrad and May were talking about. Because in their one of their Let's Plays, they were talking about girl games. And how they want more girl games. And, you know, everyone's talking about girl games. Why don't girls want to make games? Is it because there's not enough games for girls? We got to make more games. Girls got to make more games for girls so that more girls will make video games. That's the thing. How do you feel about that?
Wow, what a great lead-in. Thanks.
There's more, but I want to,
okay.
talk about this first.
All right, okay. So, I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I was actually thinking about this today, that when I was growing up, I had a very different, of course, upbringing from you.
Yes.
And I was always told that I shouldn't have a career in any kind of like art. I needed to have a career that I knew I was going to be able to get a job in. So like sciences, maths, something like actually tangible and concrete that you knew you were going to be able to get a job and going to be able to support yourself, because every artist is a starving artist. They're a joke.
Which is true.
You know, like you're not going to be, no one's going to take you seriously, and you're not going to be able to survive. So you need to get a real job in like a real scientific field. So I never considered any kind of artistic career, and I never really had an opportunity to kind of grow any artistic set of skills, because I was always just so concentrated on schoolwork and, you know,
even though
science
you were interested
and mathematics
in art.
and things.
You did do some photography. You used to
I
draw
did.
and
I
stuff.
drew all the time when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
I wrote all the time when I was in middle school. I did photography in middle school and in high school.
Because everyone is interested in art. Like, everyone wants to be an artist. It depends on if you think you could do it or not, is the make or break.
And that's what I was thinking about, is like, because of the way I was raised, and like the mindset that created in me, is like I could never be a content creator on YouTube because my brain doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Like, it would be something that I'm just not good at, because I've developed a very like scientific brain, and I want something that like has a concrete beginning and a concrete end and a formula to get me from where I am to where I want to go.
Yeah.
Because I was always raised thinking that's what I had to do, and it was the only way I was going to be able to support myself. And then I ended up in veterinary medicine, so yeah, fuck me.
And you fucked up.
And then I fucked up
it
anyway.
turns out that's also a lie.
So,
being an artist
eat
is
a
a
dick,
lie.
I guess.
Doing that is a lie. Everything is a fucking lie.
So, yeah, but that's, at least for me, I don't know if that's something that happened for a lot of girls, where they were discouraged from being artistic.
Though. Yeah, because you're talking about that, but were you discouraged from that because you were a girl, or just because that's how your parents were?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
that was for me. I think that was my parents, because they did not take artistic jobs seriously.
Yeah. But it wasn't
because they're very
you were a
practical
girl
people.
at all.
Yeah, I don't think it was because I'm a girl. I think it's because of the way that I grew up. But at the same time, when someone has a daughter, are they more inclined to try to train her to be realistic and reasonable so that she can provide for herself and not have to like struggle and have a job that may or may not actually work out for her.
Yeah.
Like, is that something that's definitely something that could be a part of it.
Here's where we come to the point I want to make.
Oh God! So Victor had a point the entire time.
Yes, I had an extended point, but I wanted to hear what you had to say first because I mean you're a girl, so it's interesting. But
I'm a girl.
my point is semi-comical and ironic.
Oh no.
Because so what your parents raised you on was you need to get a practical job because you'll be better off that way.
Yeah.
Which that's reasonable, right?
I mean, if you're someone who loves your child and wants them to not die, yeah.
It's perfectly reasonable to want that for your kid. My argument I'm gonna make is, why do we want girls to have these shitty jobs? Like, I can understand wanting to get girls into engineering. Fantastic idea. Everyone needs to get into engineering. We don't need more artists, and no one should do it. Like, we don't need more girl gamers and more girls making video games, because no one should be making video games. It's a fucking waste. It's a terrible career. It's a gigantic waste of time. What we need are more scientists, more doctors, engineers, you know, people who actually make a difference in the world. The only people who want more girl gamers are girl gamers. Because they want to feel more accepted in a community that they feel like is put against them. You know, more girls who want to be those artists because that's what they decided, you know? But then those girls still decided that without any girl games. So, like, where is the need for anyone to be getting into video games when it's such a fucking struggle, you know? I'm sure just like any art, like 1% of the people getting into it are actually successful, you know? Why would we wish that on anyone?
Well, I guess let me make a counter argument as someone who does work in science and you know, was raised in a don't go into the arts because you'll get fucked mindset. And that growing up, you do realize that art is important and somebody has to make it. And so if everyone went into science fields, we would have no art and the world would be very boring.
Well,
we would have nothing to relieve the stress of work.
The thing about art, though, is that people who are artists have to do it. Like, you don't have a choice. You're wired to make art. So whether we encourage people to make art or not, it will be made by the people who have to do it. So you shouldn't have to encourage anyone to make it, you know? Because they're going to do it if they want to do it. So it really doesn't matter. So you don't need to encourage girls to make art. Like,
I don't know.
If it's in their blood, they'll do it anyways because they can't help themselves.
I think for a lot of people, the thing that keeps them from pursuing what they really want to do and making art is the fact that it just doesn't bring in a lot of money. And so if we, you know, had the finances behind it, you could probably get a lot more, because, I mean, and when you're making art and only one kind of person is making art, you're going to get one kind of perspective. And it's not going to be the kind of thing where you can get a bunch of different kinds of points of view.
Because
if it's all like the same white male, then like you're going to get the same point of view in every game.
I'm not saying it's going to be the same white male. It could be a black woman, but that will be someone who is inclined to make art no matter what.
The only reason I'm saying that is because you made the argument that girls don't need to be in that medium. But I mean, they do. They should.
They don't. My argument is that you shouldn't encourage anyone to be an artist. Like, artists are people who can't help themselves and, like, shouldn't be discouraged at every round. Because that's where you get the real artists. The people who know they're gonna be broke and fucking can't stop themselves. Like,
I don't think you should encourage hacks, but...
No one should go into art thinking that they can make any money. Like, you should never encourage a child to be like, yeah, you can be an artist and be rich, because it's not true, you know?
Well, I think anyone
you have to be aware of the fact that you're gonna struggle.
Anyone that's in, like, the video game industry or anything like that, I don't think they go into it being like, I'm gonna be rich. Well, I think they have, you know, a vision.
Yeah, but if we're making up a scenario where we're encouraging everyone to go into video games.
I don't think you want to encourage everyone. It's just the same way that you don't want to encourage everyone to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Because not everyone's cut out for that. But if you show a proclivity for it, then, like, why wouldn't you encourage that person
Yeah.
to do it?
You shouldn't be discouraged.
It's just like how, like, my parents encouraged that in me, and they saw that I was good at it, and so that's what I was encouraged to do. It's the same way. If you have a proclivity for it, then there's no reason that you shouldn't be encouraged to do something if you're good at it.
I'm getting, my mind's wandering into another,
Victor has wandered away.
hypotheticals. Like, I really don't, like, passionately care about what I'm saying. I'm just, like, bringing up points that I think are funny and interesting.
Victor does not respect women. Mark it here.
I do respect women, and obviously I respect art. I'm a fucking artist. But I'm just making arguments for argument's sake.
It's that same sense of self-loathing as being a vet tech and being like, don't do it. Don't become a vet tech. You'll kill yourself.
Exactly. Like, I wouldn't encourage anyone to be an artist because I think it's fucking suicide. Like, it's ridiculous. But then, like, I do strongly believe that, like, when you're an artist, you have to be an artist and you can't do anything else. And so you're gonna do it no matter what anyone says. And so, like, when I hear about people getting discouraged about, like, there was the, someone's YouTube comment to Conrad when he was, like, shitting on other anime analysts, and they were like, oh, that's really discouraging for new people or whatever. Maybe I might not do it anymore or something. And I'm like, if you want to do it, you're gonna do it. Like, if you are a fucking artist, you can't be discouraged by someone shitting on other anime YouTubers. You know, you're not gonna care. You have to. You have to do it. It's in your blood. Like, you'll lose your mind if you're not making art. At least that's my perspective, you know? So, like, the idea that someone can be discouraged because of a shortcoming doesn't make sense to me, because there are still the people making the art who have overcome that. Like, if you're a woman, like, arguing, like, if you're an artist who is a female who has made it, you know, I'm not even gonna go down that because I'm not. My point's not fleshed out enough in my head. It's just gonna make me sound awful. So I'm not even gonna go down that route.
I think what you're also maybe not considering is the climate of the video game industry is probably not super receptive to women.
Yeah, that's
it's the same with filmmaking. There's not a place for women in filmmaking right now.
If there aren't enough resources in that community, that's something that needs to change.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is that it's not very welcoming, and there's not a lot of people who are open to that right now.
Yeah.
And it's the same, like I said, the same thing with film, same thing with anything like that. The film industry doesn't, like, can you name any famous female directors? We've had this conversation. No, you can't.
Yeah. You can't.
And it's not because women don't want to make film. It's just because there's no space for them there.
Yeah. You're right. I'm not educated enough right now to talk about anything.
Not educated.
I've already made myself sound dumb talking about this girl game shit just because I wanted to make, like, some weird point.
I'm not sure what your point was there.
Being stubborn about being an artist and how if you're discouraged, you're basically weak and you suck. But I mean, like, emotional discouragement. Like, if there's a system rigged against you, that's a completely different thing, you know?
Oh god, the hamster just scared me.
I don't know, man. I just want everyone to stop wanting to be an artist. It's terrible. Go get a real job.
Go get a real job.
Do something productive with your life. That's the real point here. That's all I really want to say.
What
was I talking about in the first place?
It takes all kinds of people, you know?
I just wanted to meme about how women should be getting into better fields than fucking making video games.
You gotta have all kinds of people. You gotta have people to work at McDonald's. You gotta have people to be a dentist. I mean, you know. I don't know what you did there, but yeah, good job.
Oh, I pushed the shelf out. Anyways, Victor's a sexist asshole.
Yeah.
That's the
takeaway here is Victor doesn't care about women.
Oh, it was mostly a meme, but I was just trying to see how long I could go with making that argument.
Proud of you.
It's funny.
So proud of you, Victor. That was a really well thought out topic. Thank you.
I didn't say it was well thought out.
You were, like, so excited about it, so I was like, oh.
Well, because I was laughing at it because it's a funny idea. that we shouldn't encourage girls to be artists because being an artist is stupid and no one should be encouraged to be an artist. Oh, man.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
But then you were too good at, like, refusing that topic and,
You mean having a point and a thought?
Well, you gave too serious of responses to the meme, and so the meme fell apart. Because then I'm like, wait, I can't, like, seriously argue for this topic because it's retarded.
What was I supposed to argue? It would be like, yep, you're right.
Nothing.
Women should get real jobs like being in the kitchen.
Like, oh yeah, like being in the kitchen. Not real jobs, like actually running society.
No. Well, then that brings up an entire different...
Like, let all the fucking stupid guys go off and fucking make movies and video games and shit, and all the women can go off and actually, like, run the entire world and, like, start businesses and take that over. Ah!
As he dies.
Because no one needs to be an artist. It's stupid. There's no stability. Sucks. Even if you make a good video, even if you make a successful video game, like, you still gotta make more video games for the rest of your fucking life if you want to survive.
That's true.
Each one getting more mediocre than the last.
Vic has high hopes for his future, in case you couldn't tell.
Yeah. Well, I'm lucky. You can't... A video game guy can't just go make a commercial.
That's true. Yes.
I have, like, more than one skill going on with my career.
Well, you know, that's why you gotta have the backup.
Yes.
Just in case.
You gotta have an art that has multiple applications. Oh! This is getting ridiculous.
He could have been melted there.
Getting melt?
Run! Got him.
Fuck.
Oh.
This level's ridiculous, man. This game is getting insane. Fuck.
This is a game for children.
Fucking shield guys.
Most
kids are probably... No! I was right there! That was the guy!
Yeah, that was the Zapfish.
Oh, no!
That was the Zapfish.
I lost the whole level. I lost the whole level because I'm a sexist bigot.
Yeah.
And obviously a fucking retarded ass. So I feel terrible about that topic. I want to take it all back. I had a meme and then it sucked and Hope was too good because she's a female.
I'm sorry that I had, actual thoughts about the topic.
No, it's good. You got to play the good guy, my retarded bad guy. But, I do actually agree with you that... And with Conrad, because his big point is that he wants more girls to make games so he can have games that are different and, like, about girls. And, like, yes, I completely fucking want that. I want girls to be making games because I like to play games that are by girls with girls because it's cool. I like games that are cute and aesthetic with nice, cool art. And I want more of that.
Well, Victor, who says that girls have to exclusively make nice, cute aesthetic
maybe
games?
They can make maybe a girl, because girls are so fucking obsessed with horror, maybe one of them can make a horror game that's good or something, A horror game I might give a shit about. Because horror games almost are as stagnant as horror movies. Like, they seem like they're all the same shit.
Have been stagnant for a long time, I feel like.
Again, there were the classics that originated the genre, You got your Resident Evils and your fucking Silent Hills, shit people love, and then just, like, garbage forever.
Yeah.
I hardly ever see a horror game I'm interested in besides
Little Nightmares was fun.
Little Nightmares, yeah. That was, like, once in a fucking 20 years.
Once in a 20 years. Little Nightmares is super cool.
It was pretty dope.
It's a really cool little story. You guys should play it if you can. It's on Steam for like what, $20, $25.
Oh, piggybacking off another one of Conrad and May's topics, the girl internet.
Girl internet?
Experience with it. They're talking about how like May was into like all of these. Like, she used the internet her whole life, and, like, used forums and all this stuff.
Oh, yeah,
because she was on different kinds of forums. Like, she was into, like, Battle Wolves and shit.
Battle Wolves?
Or it was Battle Cats or something. Or it's...
No, Warrior Cats.
Warrior Cats, yeah. She was in the Warrior Cats, and it's, like, that's something that, like, no guys were into. Only girls were into that. And so it's, like, as a guy, you think your entire life that there's no girls on the internet, but then
But they were just on different parts of the internet.
Like, Conrad's theorizing, yeah, they were just on different parts of the internet.
Yeah, they weren't on 4chan.
And because guys never listen to girls and ask them what they're doing, and girls tend to not talk about themselves, then, like, no guys realize what girls were doing. They're not on fucking 4chan. Really, the only... we only realize it now with Tumblr that girls have been on the internet the whole time because
So
Tumblr's dominated by women.
That's not just a meme. People really think that there was a part of time where girls weren't on the internet.
Yes!
That's real!
2 little boys.
What the fuck?
When I was like 12, you know, like... You're thinking about children here.
Why would somebody think that? Why
That's
would somebody think there's a
literally what it
place
was.
that's got this wealth of information that has all these things that you can do, and girls just don't do it? That
Exactly.
makes no sense. How narrow-minded do you have to be to think, well, only my gender does this?
Well,
really?
first of all, you have to be
Really?
like a fucking child. But
Even as a kid, I was like, that's a joke, right? That's a fucking joke, right?
no, guys really believe it because you didn't experience any girls. You never met a girl on the internet, you know? How would you know? How would you ever know? Because to guys, it's always like, oh, you have to stay away from people who say they're girls on the internet because those are like sexual predators and shit and child molesters who are like luring you and stuff. Like that's what I always thought girls on the internet were.
It fucking
you know? There
blows
weren't
my
any
mind
girls
that
on the
people
internet.
actually think that.
But like as a boy who never was friends with any girls
That's
as a kid,
insane.
how would I know? You know,
That's
you just
insane.
assume. Well, it's because.
It's just like,
Well, here's the thing.
how caught up in your own mindset do you have to be to believe that?
Well, it's not
Like,
like you're
what?
thinking of it as like, oh, girls are losers and don't use the internet. It's like you're thinking guys are fucking dorks and like this is nerd shit and girls don't do nerd shit, you know? That's the impression you have as a kid is girls just aren't into this stuff. Like they're not into computers and stuff. And so like you're told that there are no girls on the internet because you've never asked a girl in known, you know? Why would I have known? I never talked to any girls.
Because girls
And I
are
didn't use the
people, and
internet.
they come in a variety of different types.
Well, it's
They're
like-
not just one girl
If
that
you're
is
thinking about
multiplied out into,
fucking-
you know, an entire population who only likes one thing. It just blows my mind that people can, like, thought this. Like, what?
Well, at that time, as a kid, you're not thinking that the internet is something that everyone in the world is using. You're thinking it's just like this thing that's there, you know? You don't realize that it's so massively huge. And then if people are just like, oh, there's no girls on the internet, you're like, okay.
Just...
Like, you never expect girls... Like, up until high school, you know, we'd never known a girl to have played video games because we never fucking talked to any girls.
Well, that's
and you don't
because
know.
you didn't
And
talk to
because
any girls.
That's what people say, you know? They say, oh, girls don't play video games. You're like, okay. Why would you question it? You don't know.
That's just so insane that you would think an entire half of the world just wouldn't use something. A whole half of the world's population just doesn't do something. That's insane.
Jesus.
Like, it blows my mind for real. Like, I thought that was just a meme. I
mean,
thought
it's
it was a
kinda
meme. I didn't think people actually thought that. That's so insane.
Well, I'm glad your mind is so
That
blown.
fucking is insane. Like, what is it? I guess just what prompted things to come to a place that this could happen? That someone could say this and people would believe them, but only about girls.
I don't know.
Like, why? Why is it just something that's against girls? How did that happen?
Well, I don't see it as against girls. Like, saying it's against girls makes it seem like you're being derogatory towards women by saying they don't
I mean, you
use
kind
the
of
internet.
are, though.
Well, it's not, because you're thinking of the internet as something that only scummy people use. That's the idea there. Like, you assume women aren't using the internet because you don't think the internet is something good, you know?
Well,
Like, to me, it was only, you know, the internet is for nerds and dorks, and, like, those aren't socially acceptable people, and that's who's using the internet. Like, you don't think normal people use the internet when you're a kid. At least when I was a kid, you know?
That's
it seemed
just-
like this weird niche thing.
that's so weird. That's really bizarre.
And you don't think about the fact that there's forums for everything in the world, you know? And you're used to, as a kid, everyone saying girls don't play video games and stuff because those are for nerds, you know? Girls aren't nerds. Girls don't do these things.
But, like,
girls
what-
are normal.
What created this stereotype that was so prevalent that all girls are normal, air
Probably
quotes.
cartoons? I don't know. I don't know what started this shit.
I'm so
But you're
curious
used to,
what
like, for all of time,
what
through movies and
propagated
media,
that.
you see boys are dorks, you know? If you watch movies, you know, we were just watching Heathers, you know, the boys are nerds. You don't see nerdy girl. There's, like, fat girl, but it's not implied that she's nerdy, you know? I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Maybe that's just how the culture was in the 80s and it's just stuck around for so long. And like nowadays we understand that everyone is a nerd. But like legitimately growing up, you're told girls aren't into nerd shit, you know? Computers are a nerd thing.
It blows my mind. That's something that's such a broad use, like something that could be used for so many different things, and they just are like, girls don't do that. Like, what?
I mean, you could probably assume that girls are using like Google and shit. Like, I don't think it's fanning that much.
It's just very strange.
But it's a common understanding that girls were not on the internet.
That's so weird. So fucking weird. That shit trips me out, man.
I don't know, dude. I barely use computers, so, like, why the fuck would I care? Like, why would I believe anything otherwise? I didn't even use computers as a kid.
It's weird.
You were right. Girls rule and boys drool. Girls are from Mars, and boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider. I spent quite some time there. I don't fucking know it. I can't explain gender issues. I'm just some fucking straight white male who grew up, you know, as a kid thinking girls didn't play video games or use the internet, okay? That's just what society told me, and I believe them because I didn't ever talk to any girls and learn otherwise. I'm sorry if I've offended you with my childhood ignorance.
It's just crazy. It's just weird that someone could believe that an entire half of the population just doesn't do something.
Yeah, but anyways, what I actually wanted to talk about before
it's weird. It's fucking weird.
Ridiculously upset about me.
I'm not upset. It just mystifies me. I don't understand
it's quite mystifying. But what did you use on the internet as a kid?
All the fucking, you know, Neopets and shit like that.
Yeah.
I was on Gaia quite a bit.
Oh yeah, Gaia. Gay as shit.
Yeah.
Fake and gay.
Well, as you die. But yes.
I bet if I knew there were actual real life girls on Gaia, I probably would have fucking used that as a kid. Fuck.
Yeah. That's where I was for a good percent of my
Basically,
formative
I only played
years.
online games, you know? And like you're always told with online games that anyone playing a girl is just a guy, you know? That's the meme, and so you just believe it because you haven't, you know, how do you get proof, you know, back in the day before voice chat and shit? Like, how do you know?
I don't know. Figure it out.
You just go like, oh, I guess there's no girls on the internet. Everything else is a lie.
Anyway, continue into what you were saying.
No, that's what I want to hear about what you did on the internet. You used Gaia?
Yeah, like literally,
Neopets
like
and Gaia?
Okay,
Were you on like Rurouni Kenshin forums or anything?
No. It was mostly me and my best friend would go on Gaia like religiously for like hours every day.
Good God.
And we were super active in the forums there.
Oh, Gaia, it was just a social thing, right?
Yeah.
All you did was go around and like fuck around in lobbies and talk to
No,
people?
you're thinking of Habbo Hotel.
No, it's similar though, right?
No, it's not.
What do you do in Gaia?
In Gaia, it's basically it's kind of like Neopets in the sense that you there's like stores and stuff that you can like go and buy clothes for your avatar, and there were like monthly rare items that you could buy that were like limited to that month, and then there would never be that item again, so you had to go tell your parents that you wanted like $5 so you could go get
you had to put money in it?
Yes.
Did you spend money on it?
You didn't have to, but if you wanted to be cool, yes, of course
I
did.
Oh no!
Well, it was my mom's money, but you know.
Of course it wasn't yours.
Because I was a fucking child.
But man, I would never ever ask for money for those games. Especially because I just didn't trust the internet enough. But like, that's what I did like
every day for hours. So it was like really important to me.
I never did any of that with those games because like I didn't understand credit cards and I didn't want to ask about it. So I was just always afraid because I thought like the information would get stolen and they were sketchy, and so I would never ever do those.
See, you didn't even have to put your credit cards. My parents didn't want to put their credit card information online, but you could go to like Target or Walmart and buy a preloaded card and use that to buy the monthly items.
How old were you when the Gaia shit was going down?
Oh my God.
'Cause I was thinking of like little kid stuff, but like by the time I was probably like 13, I was at least getting my parents to get like World of Warcraft.
That's
the only money I'd ever spent on online
it's
games.
probably
It's
like
the membership.
14.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
a little older. I consider that teen. Like I was initially talking about like being a little kid.
Oh,
like what
no.
did you use as like a
As
child,
a little,
you
as
know?
like when I very first got on the
Yeah.
because let's see, I started getting on the internet in
in
middle
like
school.
12 to 13-year-old range, you know.
Yeah. Neopets.
Neopets,
Yeah.
yeah.
Neopets was
But I'd say
the shit,
that's
'cause
when I
it
became
was
aware that there was
just
more on the
having
internet, because there was like
little pets.
albino black sheep, which is like the original fucking YouTube video shits. And then there's like
shits.
you know, that's when I became aware of MMOs. But like I never like I knew Conrad used the internet because he would use forums constantly. Because he was
Yeah.
on fucking Yu-Gi-Oh forums and shit. Which to me just never because I've never been interested in socializing.
Yeah.
And to me that's just socializing. So it's like, why would I go on something and talk to people? Like, what's the point? It's not a game. Why would I do that?
It's not a game.
I've never even been interested in communicating with anyone. Like, I always find that an interesting difference between like me and Conrad as kids is that Conrad seemed like he wanted friends and would like go online and stuff, and like I never even was interested. Like I didn't even think about it. Like I'd have one friend and I really didn't want more friends. You know, I always wanted a girlfriend, but not like friends.
You were like me.
Like now, I still don't want any friends.
You were like me as a kid when I told my mom that I only wanted one really good friend, and that was it.
Exactly. That's how I've always been. I have one best friend, even now, you know. My best friend became my girlfriend. And so you're my only friend. Yeah.
But,
And then in teen years, I still didn't use the internet a whole lot beyond just, like, World of Warcraft and MySpace. But that was just, like, obsessively, like, making my profile on MySpace.
Obsessively building your profile.
Like, I'd put all of my favorite song as YouTube links in on my MySpace page, and, like, no one ever looked at that shit.
Well, of course
I don't know
not.
why I cared, but it was so cool that I could customize something. Like, I was obsessed with customizing things.
Just as you are now.
Anyways, I'm still curious about Gaia. Was there, like, mini games or anything? Or just, like, you bought clothes and then you stood around? Like,
No, it's not. There's no hub in Gaia. It's all, like, everybody has their own avatar. You can customize the avatar. There's a bunch of shit you can buy. There's a bunch of different kinds of stores.
But you do, like, walk around, right?
No.
Huh. Because, like, I don't know if this was later, but the only time I've ever seen Gaia being played was when Brando was on Gaia and he was just trolling people.
Oh, no.
He was just going around fucking with people, and I remember it being, like, a lobby, like a giant lobby, and then everyone's avatars were just kind of sitting around. And, like, that's all it was. So I don't know. Maybe they changed it at some point later.
When I was playing,
So it was just a forum where you customize your avatar?
Kind of.
Huh.
I mean, but the thing about Gaia was they also had, like, a kind of overarching story that was going on where events would happen and it would, like, play out a part of the story in the world. So you also had, like, a world building aspect to it.
Yeah, interesting.
But there was a lot of forums and stuff. I did a lot of role playing and shit, so
Okay.
that was what I was doing back then.
Naughty role playing.
On a public website?
What was your role playing like? Like what do you do in Gaia Online role playing? You're just like,
Oh my
I'm
God.
a vampire.
No.
Like, I don't know what role playing fucking even is on a forum. You
It's
know?
not good.
Like, are you just like, I'm Rurouni Kenshin's daughter, and that's my character?
I mean, essentially, that's what a lot of people were like, yeah.
What was your role play character?
Dude, if I remember, and this is like a fucking long time ago,
Darkness Sparkle.
No,
Twilight Sparkle's
you're-
evil twin sister.
My Little Pony wasn't out back then, but
Yeah.
or Friendship is Magic wasn't out back
Yeah.
then. So no, that was not. But normally it would be something like I had a group of friends on there. It was like my best friend in real life at the time, and then we had a couple different people who we would like talk to pretty regularly on Gaia. And then you could also just go into like random forums, and if there was certain roleplay forums, then you could like choose different categories. So there'd be like anime, original characters, blah blah blah, whatever you wanted to do. And we would normally just choose like whatever anime or manga we were super into at the time, and we would just roleplay with those characters that were already from the series.
Yeah. What do you do as what is the role play?
What do you mean?
like, how are you role playing?
You
You just like talk to people, but you're that character or something, or
So,
like you telling a story.
Yeah.
Okay.
The idea is like normally someone in
So
the
it's like
group
Dungeons and
has an
Dragons,
idea where the
kinda.
story is
Yeah,
going.
okay.
And you
I
work
remember,
together to build that story.
Conrad would tell me about some of the stuff he was doing. I wasn't sure if that was like role play though, or like what the fuck it was. Where it would be like each person would kind of like take turns writing a chapter, like their character's
kinda like
chapter, kind of.
Yeah, like
Okay.
that.
That makes sense.
So it wasn't just like we were fucking around. There was a story that was
Yeah.
progressing.
And it's like
It wasn't a good story,
yeah. But something was going on.
Yeah, but we weren't just
You weren't
sitting
just
around
like
fucking
pretending
like,
to be Verona Kenshin, and then it's like, oh yeah, this guy's my boyfriend. We're role playing. We're a family. We're wolves, and we're a wolf family.
No, we did not.
That's just what I imagine when I hear the 13-year-olds role playing, and I'm just like, oh, they're being faggots. Like,
No.
they're just doing some stupid shit where they're like.
No.
I have no idea. I have no idea what
Like,
roleplay
I
is.
do remember there was one thing I distinctly remember was a D. Grayman roleplay that we had for a while.
Yeah.
I can't really remember.
I'm being like a typical shitty adult, not understanding what the kids do. Or I'm just like, so it's like sex. There's sex, right?
No.
Like someone's you're
Well,
hooking
Mom,
up in the game.
Mom, no, you're not listening.
It has to be
Mom,
about sex.
it's not about
kids
sex,
don't do
Mom.
anything unless it's about sex.
Mom, no, I just want to be an anime character.
It's okay if you've become an online swinger. I'm not
Okay.
gonna judge you. You know, everyone has their kinks. Where the fuck am I going? I'm like
don't
on this
know.
cube.
Yeah, you
I
are.
gotta get over there or something. This game is just amazing.
Victor is truly strong.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I already got the key and I was just supposed to go here. And I don't know why the cube was rotating. I guess it was just for that bonus thing or something. Wow!
I suppose so.
What did that do? Oh, okay. I'm done. Cool.
Grab
I
that
was like, this
fish.
level's going on forever. Woo!
Oh, nice. There he is.
Yeah. This game is
Arr,
cool.
arr, arr.
Anyways, I'm glad to, like, I didn't do anything online of the day, so I don't know what any of this shit is.
Yeah,
you know?
no.
I never once, ever used a forum. Ever. Because Conrad did that, and I just thought it sounded lame. You have to read and write, and I wasn't
Yeah,
into
well, that was
you
the
know?
problem, is you were
I was
illiterate,
into playing
so-
games. I was not into reading. So, like, I did not get into the internet. So any memes about the internet, believed them, because I didn't use the internet. But then, like, someone like Conrad used the internet a lot and still thought there were no girls on the internet, you know? So, I don't know.
I don't know, man. Shit's cray.
They were just in different places. They had different interests and used different boards.
Yeah. For sure. I would say that's true. That's,
Fuck.
yeah.
Boop.
Gaia is, one of the few, where I met one of the few guys that I actually liked when I was younger.
Wow.
Who knows if it actually was a
Drop
guy?
that
I mean,
shit.
there's no boys on the internet.
I thought
but...
you met him.
No.
I thought you met him at a con or something.
No.
Huh. Who was the guy you met at a con? I thought there was a dude who you knew online who you,
Well, my friend said she saw him, but I didn't see him, so I'm not
Oh,
convinced.
So he was allegedly at the con.
Allegedly.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah. Hope liked a boy. Gay.
But, there's no guarantee he was actually a boy. Could have been a girl. You don't know.
Yeah. I'll try not to be jealous of a middle school boy that you knew 10 years ago.
That I didn't
that you
even
didn't
really
even get
know.
to meet. Well, that's the love that was never had, you know? He could be better than I am now. You just had to settle for a real boy, not a guy online boy. Who knows? It could have been a girl. Like, yeah. Because boys didn't play guy because it's fucking gay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
There's no boys on Gaia Online. Science.
Let's tread water until I beat this, and then next time on Digibro.
Oh, okay.
What else did you do?
Most of my internet culture is just extreme. My internet history culture is very cringe.
No, you're into DeviantArt.
Yeah, I was on. This was
But
you
mostly
know.
for cosplay, right? For the cosplay shit.
I did post some of my art on there, but my art was never
Yeah.
really any good.
Because DeviantArt was like pre-Tumblr.
Yes.
Like it was the OG Tumblr, and then
OG
all the good DeviantArts just moved to Tumblr.
Yeah, and now you just go on Tumblr to look at art.
Yeah, it used to be a big Tumblr too. You used to actually like post some things.
But
Now
it
you
was
just
never
look
very
at
good.
art,
And
yeah.
now I just post, I just reblog things that I see that I'm like, cool. And that's it. That's all I do. I don't contribute to the internet anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a very good contributor. Because I have too much other shit going on. I don't have time.
I almost feel like Hope is the anti-May. Just because they're also talking about how, like, she has, like, this stalker that's been going on for, like, 6 years. I'm like, huh.
6 years?
Hope also
hey,
had a
it's
stalker
anti-you!
that's been... Exactly. It's the opposite of me. Like, I am the guy who was, like, just charming enough to not be a stalker. And like, handled my shit really well. But, like, I could have been that guy, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I didn't really have stalker tendencies in the same way that she described, like, because we were friends,
it wasn't
you know?
scary, yeah.
We were already friends.
Right, it wasn't some weirdo that I didn't know being a weirdo.
But then, like, I don't know. I did follow your shit pretty close. But then I've always been self-aware where, like,
but, like,
sometimes I'll be like, should I? Yeah, I'm like, we are friends.
That's weird.
But then I do like you, so I feel bad for, like, following all your shit. But then, like, I'm also your friend, and so I want to follow you. It's strange.
Yeah, I don't think that's the same.
I was always very afraid of coming off like that kind of person, you know?
Like that kind of person.
Even though I was, you know, to an extent obsessed with you because I liked you. Can't help it. Freaky, fucked up stalker man.
Yeah. It's just like Perfect Blue.
Like, May's hypersexual, you're asexual, you're the anti-May.
It's me, I guess.
You got with your stalker, you know?
Everything that we do is the opposite.
We're the opposite of Conrad and May.
I mean...
I guess I'm kind of the opposite of Conrad.
Yeah.
In a sense. The same, but, you know...
You are.
The same, but different.
You're not, there are a lot of things about you that are different from Conrad.
Conrad's the hyper ego, and I am the self-destructive. Like, I don't think Conrad could ever hate himself.
Yeah. I think you're probably right. I think you are hyper aware of what other people think about you and have a hyper consideration of that, whereas Conrad doesn't give a shit.
I'm super intuitive to what other people are thinking
Yeah.
and feeling.
Victor
which I
is
discover progressively more all the time as I interact with other people, and then I'm just like, did you guys catch that vibe? And I'm just like...
Victor is a super empath.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm not sure if I just read too far into what people are doing and it's not true, or if I really am just, like, super empath.
It's just a super empath, man.
Super empath, bro!
Bro! So empath, bro.
I fucking get reads on people immediately, like, through eye contact. Like, initial eye contact, I already know what they're about. Sometimes I'm proven wrong, but rarely.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm quite as on point as you, but I feel like I'm pretty good at feeling people out and knowing if I should trust them, or if they're worth me putting the effort in or not. I
catch some strong vibes. And then there's confusing characters like May or Ben, though, where, like, I'm not, like, my initial reaction to him was not wrong, because, like, I read him as incredibly, like, he's incredibly sincere. Everything he says he means.
Yeah.
But he can't distinguish the fact that he's bullshitting. That's
so
where
it's
it gets
sincere,
me.
but
he's
it's
tricky,
bullshit.
And I get tripped up by those kinds of people. Like, I think this rapper guy who I will not say by name is kind of the same way. But Mr. Nice.
Yes.
Where like, certain people are so sincere but just not super smart. Where it's like, I tend to like people who are very sincere, even if they aren't necessarily honest with themselves, you know? Like, if they believe what they're saying to a deceptive extent and aren't self-aware of the fact that they are misleading, you know?
Yeah.
But I feel so strongly with people who are genuinely kind, like, in their head and in their heart, even if they're misleading you.
And I think that's where you and I differ, because I'm very wary of people like that, because I know that there's the tendency there that they could become destructive and hurt themselves and also you. Yeah. And it's just like, I don't know. I don't trust like that. I realize they may not have malicious intent, but I can't bring myself to like a person like that.
Such a guilty person that I feel that sincerity so deeply and it's hard for me to like go back on. But there's a lot of fucking crazy people, and crazy
Oh,
people
yeah.
are completely sincere, you know.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But then those guys don't really have that like crazy eye, you know. You can tell when someone's like crazy and retarded and kind of a sociopath because like they'll have dead eyes.
Flies like a doll's eyes.
It's full of like a lot of crazy homeless people, and you look at them in the eye and you're like, there's nothing in there. Their soul is gone.
There's
like
nothing
they're
in
gone,
there.
man. They're
There's
insane.
nothing in there.
Or like a lot of
Yeah.
crazy belligerent people, and you look at them in the eyes and you're just like, there's no compassion in there at all. There's nothing. They don't look like they're thinking on the same level as most people, you know. You
Yeah.
can read people's souls through their fucking eyes.
I think I'm just much more wary of people than you are.
Blech. Bleh.
Oh, God.
Where's oh, yeah, he's over there
he's
or
over,
something?
yeah. He was tucked back and yeah,
Yeah,
there he is.
fuck,
Ah.
This is tricky shit. Oh god, I'm on like my last squid.
Yeah, this is the ultimate squid.
You know that song? Do you know
Yeah,
what
sure.
it's from? Do you know it?
Is that the Shark Tanks theme?
No. It's from Rampage. World Destruction. You ever played Rampage as a kid?
Very briefly.
Dude, we played the fuck out of some Rampage.
I didn't
It's so
own-
not a good game, but it was a 2-player game. And
So it was a
fun.
great
And you're a
game
big
by default.
monster, and it has funny sounds. You go, ooh, ooh, oh.
I did not own Rampage.
It's one of those good 2-player games where you can just fuck each other over. Even though I never enjoyed those games. I've never been one to be like, oh yeah, the most fun is when you and your friends are fucking each other over in the game. And I'm just like, but then you don't get anything done and you get bored. That's only fun for like the first play.
Yeah.
Alright guys, that one probably went on for a while. Next time on Digibros, we'll talk about something where Victor doesn't make a complete ass of himself.
Yay!